What's up, Kings? Hope you're well. What up, what up? All right, so in this video, I want to talk about social media, now interest media. I'm calling it interest media because social media has changed. And I want to talk about how social media has changed from social to interest and how that's going to impact your ad campaigns. And some advertisers and some brands are already adjusted to some of these changes. And this is because the algorithms of TikTok, Meta have changed as well. So when social media started, let's get into it. I'm not going to edit a lot of these videos because I just don't have time, but I do have a lot of game to share with you. So let's just get into it. Social media has changed so much in the last 15 years. Maybe in the last, I'll say 5 years, it's changed dramatically. There's so many marketers that have talked about it. Gary Vee has talked about this as well. But I want to dive a little deeper into how this is impacting campaigns and how you can also leverage this when you are running your campaigns on Meta, TikTok. Yeah, Meta and TikTok. Those two platforms. Those two, yeah. So back in the day, I want to say like 5 years ago, and prior to that as well, like let's say 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, it made sense for you to target people based on things like, how much money they're making, and all these things like household income. But a lot of these targeting criteria are a little misleading because the economy has changed, society has changed a lot. People are different now. People are not having kids. People are not getting married. So things get weird. Things get very, very weird. If you were a marketer 20 years ago and you needed to market something to people, it was very easy. You would think, okay, most people are married. Most people probably have kids. So if I'm going to market, I'm going to market to mom, dad, and the kids. But now, not so much. I'm in my 40s now, and a lot of my friends are not married. A lot of my friends don't have kids. It becomes very weird because even targeting them, everybody's got their own weird little kink. So trying to bucket all these people into simple categories is not that easy anymore. Like, how do you target somebody that's into collecting cats, drinking wine, and is politically affiliated with a certain group of people and has blue hair? How do you do that? How do you target them? Do you target them by cat lovers? Wine drinkers? I don't know. How do you do that? It's something I always think about. How do you do that effectively, though? There's so many people that like wine, that love wine. And also, if you look at most people's profiles, it's all, not all, most of them were, and I think they still are, non-binary. Nobody wants to disclose what gender they are anymore. So do you target them as male, female, other, him, her, they? How do you do that? It's hard, right? It's pretty tough. Which is where I think if you focused on interest media versus social media, your targeting capabilities will be able to improve so dramatic, so much more by combining several layers to come up with like the perfect sort of profile, audience profile, let's call it. So I remember like when I was running ads like 15 years ago, all I had to worry about is targeting males 18 to 34 that probably like video games. That was easy. But now, if I try and do that, I'm going to miss out on the non-binary guy who also likes video games, but who could also fit into the male category, but he doesn't want to disclose that he's a male. I don't want to miss out on him. He could have money. I don't want to discriminate. I want his money too. But interest media makes things so much better, I think. Because when I do my ad strategies, I really have to think about these things. What is society looking like? How weird is society? I look at platforms like TikTok, how are people behaving? I study that. I go to Reddit and I see the conversations that are happening on Reddit, and I study that. And I come up with a profile based on interest only. No more, this person is this gender. I don't care. What I care about is what is this person interested in? For example, if I want to identify young men that have a lot of disposable income, what I like to do is I like to figure out what kind of content are they interested in, first and foremost. Are they into travel content? And if they are into travel content, what kind of travel content are they into? And if they are into travel content, what other things are they interested in? Are they interested in luggage? Are they interested in... What kind of luggage are they interested in? Are they also interested in drop shipping? What else are they interested in? Are they interested in knowing about getting citizenship in different countries? Those are multiple indicators that are creating a profile. With the cost of living crisis, inflation, and overall societal collapse in the United States and the West, a lot of young men are looking to escape. They're looking to escape tough times, tough economies, and going to places like Brazil, Colombia. Some are even coming to Africa, Southeast Asia, Thailand. So a lot of what they're consuming, a lot of what they're researching, a lot of the pages that they're liking will indicate to me that this person is getting ready to escape to a more affordable place. So this means that, because a lot of young men, they don't really share what they're going through. They have a hard time sharing what they're going through, Young ladies, they don't have a problem with it. I got 2 daughters, they like to yap all the time. They'll tell me everything. But as soon as I wake up, my daughter is in my ear, like snitching her entire day. Daddy, I just woke up. I just finished breakfast. I'm about to go to the trampoline. I don't care. Go. Fine, cool. Are you hungry? Have you eaten? That's all I care about. Have you eaten? Cool. All this other stuff, I don't care. Are you in good health? Good. But they like to volunteer so much information. Young ladies. Young girls, it's their thing. They love to talk. But young men, not so much. But based on what they're consuming online, I can be able to know, okay, so based on this type of content that they're consuming, based on these kind of interests, it means that they've been able to get to the point where they have enough money, or maybe they're applying for a passport already. That means they have some savings. So I can start targeting these guys with certain types of ads. So if I'm running some ads for an airline, promoting something, right? New deals. That's my perfect audience segment right there, based on those interests. But you have to know, the only way to know all of these things is by consuming information, by consuming interest media, like by listening to conversations that are happening online. It's not guesswork. It's a lot of research. You got to consume a lot of information. What are these people talking about? What are young ladies talking about? What are they talking about? What are they talking about? And based on what they're talking about, you'll be able to know how to target them. What are these young ladies talking about on social interest media? See, I almost want to call it social media. It's not anymore. Maybe TikTok will be more social, because a lot of young ladies like to go there and just talk about how they're feeling on TikTok. Just talk about the deepest, darkest secrets on TikTok. Maybe you could call that social media, but I love listening to TikTok videos. Young ladies just going in. Oh, so-and-so, I went on a date with so-and-so. Oh, I went on a date with like 10 guys this week. This guy's, he's a douchebag, whatever. He bought me a bag. No, he gave me a bag. Yeah, whatever. He bought me a bag. And they talk about kind of bag that guy bought him. Then I know, oh, okay, cool. Young ladies are into bags now. That's the thing. They're snitching on themselves. I love it. I love TikTok. TikTok is the best. So when you follow these accounts, you can listen and understand the conversations that are happening. And know, once a popular young lady talks about a certain type of bag or the brand, all her followers are going to be talking about it. All her followers are going to be doing research on that kind of bag. They're going to want that type of bag or the type of shoes. Whatever it is that the date they had, the boyfriend of the week, bought him, everybody wants it too. Or whatever kind of makeup they're talking about. Oh, I spent $1,000 on this little bottle of makeup. So he's gonna buy me this, whatever. Oh, I know, okay. This makeup is in season. That's the new game. Interest. So if you are a beauty brand and you're trying to sell your beauty products to young ladies, listen to the conversations that are happening on TikTok about what kind of brands these young ladies are talking about. Then target based on those interests. And multiple other interests, of course. Like maybe look at, these young ladies that still have Tinder accounts or Hinge accounts, because a lot of them will get their boyfriends of the day to buy them stuff. It's still happening. Even though a lot of young men, I just say, hell no, I'm not buying anything. But the older guys, they're still buying these young ladies stuff. So when you combine all these interests, same thing with young men. What are some of the conversations that are happening? Who's the most popular YouTuber amongst a certain group of young men? Maybe look at the top 10 most popular YouTubers amongst young men. What is the common denominator among all of these content creators, YouTubers? I know Kai Cenat is one of the top content creators. I Show Speed, and a bunch of others. I'm just naming two that I know. But there's so many. What is the common denominator? Do they all like a certain type of lifestyle? I don't know. And when you combine these interests, you can build a perfect profile, which is not based on income. Because when you base your targeting only on income, you might lose out here in this new economy. Especially when you're targeting young men. Here's why. Because a lot of young men and men in general, they got a lot of money in crypto now. And they don't want to disclose how much money they got in crypto. I'll never tell anybody. Well, maybe my wife. But outside of that, I don't want anybody to know how much money I got in crypto. I don't. You know? There's no point. And they don't want people to know how much money they got in crypto. So they want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to keep their net worth private. So just because they don't fit these household income sort of category based on the data vendor that you're working with, wherever your data vendor is, where you're getting your data from. Just because they don't fit that perfect profile does not mean they don't have money. Because there are a lot of young men now that make a lot of money just playing video games and getting paid through crypto. Maybe they're playing against some guy in China, maybe not China, but some guy in Japan, India, and they're, exchanging money through crypto. He's not going to report to a data vendor that he's got $1 million in crypto. He's not. So you're missing out on a good audience segment, audience profile right there. Somebody with a lot of money to spend. You're missing out. What else do I want to talk about here? Yeah, interest media. The game has changed. If you're ready to work with the best and coming up with ways to create the perfect audience segment based on interests. And this requires deep thinking, consuming so much information here on interest media, consuming the different conversations that are happening. If you're ready to work with the best, no BS. Schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video. This is a full service offer. When you work with me, you get strategy, you get your ads activated, and you also get ads using AI. If you get ads that you've shot, you spend some good money on, we'll use that too. But we mostly use AI now because AI has come such a long way. We can do so much cool stuff with AI. So schedule time. I'll put a link in the description of this video, please. Serious people only. If you're not serious, there's no point in wasting your time or mine. The game has changed. Schedule time. Be blessed.